Hi, and welcome to the Return Homestead. Today I'm going to do something a little different. It is a canning video, but I'm going to be making Christmas jam. And I hope that this recipe makes this whole house smell like I think it will. This is a new recipe for me. I am going to be altering it just a bit. I know, no surprise. I'm using Pomona's Pectin, which is a low sugar pectin. If you go on their website, pomonaspectin.com, it'll tell you that you can substitute anything for sugar. Now, we're trying to do away with most of the sugar in our diet. It's not good for you. So I'm going to be using the monk fruit with allulose. If you haven't used that, it tastes like sugar. It's more fine, so it's a powder. And if you use only allulose, it's only 75% as sweet as sugar. If you use it with the monk fruit, it's a 1-to-1 exchange ratio. So in place of sugar, I'm going to use the monk fruit allulose 1-to-1. Now this is non-GMO. I got this off of Amazon, and it has no erythritol in it. Do your research on that. So it's not a Truvia or Splenda. This is monk fruit and allulose. Allulose will actually caramelize like sugar if you use it in recipes. I have enough for 2 of these, 2 recipes, and then I will add sugar. So each recipe will call for 3 cups of cranberries. Now you want to wash those and get those ready. I have mine sitting right here for all 3 recipes. On Pomona's website, they say that you can make more than 1 batch, but you want to be sure that you can process it as soon as it comes out of the boiling pan. It somehow breaks down the pectin in it, so you want to be able to process it all at once. So I'm going to do 3. My canner will hold 3 batches. Each batch makes 5 cups. So again, we're using 3 cups whole cranberries, 1 orange per recipe, and then you're going to want 2 teaspoons of zest, orange zest per recipe. I've got mine right here. And then the oranges, you want to make sure the seeds are out. You're going to separate them, and I broke mine into chunks. So there are 3 oranges here. And then you want 2 cups of frozen strawberries. I'm sure you can use fresh, but it's 3 cups. And then you want 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon per recipe. You're going to need calcium water with Pomona's. It helps the pectin to set. So this is the calcium that comes in the box. You get 2 envelopes. So this one's calcium, this one's pectin. What you're going to do is you're going to take a jar with a lid, and it's a 1/2 cup per 1/2 teaspoon of calcium. And then you're going to shake it up. Now this will store in the refrigerator for a little while if you don't use it all. So it's 1/2 teaspoon per 1/2 cup water. So now that I have my calcium water mixed, you're just going to shake it up. So I use the lids and a ring to shake up the jar and make sure it's thoroughly mixed. And I'm going to put that aside for now. You're going to take all of your cranberries and oranges and put into a food processor, and you're going to pulse it. Because I'm making 3 different recipes, ooh, that one's not good. I'm going to do it in smaller batches to make sure I get it good. And I have my slicing blade in there, the S blade. And I'm going to start adding them to my pan. Now the oranges. And now the strawberries. We went through all the strawberries we grew this year, so these are frozen organics. To the fruit, I'm going to add my orange zest and my cinnamon and cloves. And this will go on the stove and start heating up. So each recipe needs 2 teaspoons of the Pomona's Pectin powder, along with 2 teaspoons of your mixed calcium water. You're going to want to hold back a cup of sugar if you're only making one recipe to mix your pectin powder in. If you don't mix it in your sugar and incorporate it well, the pectin powder has a tendency to clump, and you don't want that in your jam. So I put it in my monk fruit allulose sweetener, and I've got it mixed in. In the meantime, I have my fruit cooking. It says to cook it for 2 minutes before adding your calcium water. I'm just heating this up till it's warm to the touch. My berries and stuff were in the refrigerator and freezer for the strawberries. And they say to stir it constantly. You don't want it scorching on the bottom of your pan. This pan's good for it because the bottom's super thick, so it distributes the heat well. And it says over a low heat. I'm impatient. I'm turning it up. Now I'm going to take my calcium water, shaking it well, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons per recipe. You can store this in your refrigerator for quite a while. And I'm going to mix that all in. Now I'm going to add part of my sugar, not the pectin. So you've reserved 1 cup of sugar and you put your pectin into that. You want to hold that back. And I'm going to bring this up to a full boil. Smells great. So it's just starting to boil, but this is not a rolling boil. If it's a rolling boil, it will not be able to stir down the boil. It smells wonderful. Well, you put cinnamon in just about anything, it smells good. Okay, the fruit is starting to boil even while I'm stirring it. This is a rolling boil, something that you can't stir down. And I'm going to add the rest of the sweetener or sugar with the pectin in it. And you're going to want to stir that quickly. Once that's stirred in, you're going to cook it for 2 more minutes, stirring the whole time. Once your 2 minutes is up, you're going to remove it from the heat and start loading it into your jars. And you're going to leave a 1/4 inch headspace. Once it's in your jars, you're going to wipe it with a paper towel or a cloth with vinegar to make sure all your sugar is off the rim or it won't seal. And you're going to start loading them into your canner. So 3 recipes, it ended up making, 2, 4, 6, 7 pints. I can put 8 in my canner. And you're going to want to lower that down, making sure that the tops are covered, and bring that up to a full boil. Now that my canner is up to a full rolling boil, I'm going to start my timer. Again, it's 10 minutes, and then add 1 minute per 1,000 feet above sea level that you're at. Now that the time's up, you're going to turn the heat off and let it sit for 5 minutes before removing them from the canner. So tripling this recipe made 7 pints. I would have used only the monk fruit and allulose. However, I didn't have enough. So I ended up using 2 cups of regular sugar, something I really don't like doing, and we're trying to stay away from sugar. So this would definitely be a lower carb recipe. The fruit has carbs in it, and the monk fruit and allulose also has a few carbs in it. But it is a better alternative to adding 6 cups of sugar in 3 batches. Pomona's recipes are low sugar, or the ones that I have used. Maybe they all are, I'm not sure. But the ones I've used have all been low sugar, which we prefer. So if you decide that you want to do a low carb alternative to jams and jellies, remember the monk fruit and allulose is a 1-to-1 replacement ratio. So what if you need 1 cup sugar, use the 1 cup allulose and monk fruit. They do the same. It's going to gel just fine. As you can see, the fruit is floating throughout the gel. So these are going to turn out just fine. This would be great to put on cream cheese to serve with crackers if you ate crackers as an appetizer. It would be good to put on top of a cheesecake, and you can make a low carb cheesecake. I'm going to be making one in a future video for our Thanksgiving meal. It would also be good to just put on toast or pancakes, waffles, whatever you want to do. This definitely has a seasonal taste to it because of the cranberries, cinnamon, and cloves. It smells good in here. A lot of that is the orange and the orange zest. So if you're looking for a gift to give somebody, you could make a jar of this, put a pretty Christmas cloth over it and tie a ribbon. It would be a nice gift as a hostess gift or whatever you wanted to use it for. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and maybe you'll give this one a try. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Give us a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. And my next canning video will come out next week and it's going to be carrot cake jam. So until I see you next time, bye-bye.